Hi, my name is Jessica Mathis, and I will be doing a report on the safe and ethical use of instructional technology. With the rise of the internet and digital communications, teachers, human resource workers, and employees need to watch how they use instructional technology and the internet in terms of how we access it and what we use it for. In recent years, there has been a great deal of debate over what defines the ethical and safe use of instructional technology and the internet. One of the main issues that we will be discussing in this presentation is the term of liability and how that affects the use of instructional technology. According to the Webster's Dictionary, the term liability is defined as the state of being responsible for anything that hurts a person or leaves a person in a state of not being equal. Reflecting on Ethical Codes by Amy Bradshaw and Christopher Keller discusses the reasons and purposes for having a standardized ethical code in the field of instructional technology. The main argument that they make for having ethical and standardized codes in the field of instructional technology is that it protects members in a service-oriented profession such as administration or secretarial work, and it can protect universities from accreditation problems with their instructors. Another way that we can use ethical codes and reflect on them is that professors can use standardized guidelines to help them professionally to develop their own teaching standards and working with instructional technology. Amy C. Bradshaw and Christopher Keller discuss some of the problems that come up with standardizing the code of ethics for instructional technology. One of the main problems that they discuss in this article is how do you deal with a person or professional from a different culture? One of the things that they suggest is that when standardizing codes and ethics for instructional technology in an international setting, you must consider the culture and social context that the person is using the instructional technology in, and you must consider the values and beliefs of that person's culture. Another problem that one can have with generalizing ethics is language. And the argument that they make for that is that the international community, or say you had an instructor that was teaching in the country of Africa. If that instructor takes time to look over the ethical codes and uses or teaches something in his culture that might be interpreted another way in the American culture, that could create difficulty. They say that standards can put the constraints on the type of words or how the instructor is to use technology and information in his classroom. For the international instructors, professionals, and colleagues, they must use their instructional technology and center it around specific social situations and norms. And this could be anything from what time of day or how they use their technology in the office. The next article that we will be discussing is teaching students about the digital world using technology. This study takes place at the New Jersey College of Business, and one of the things that they wanted to teach is their emerging technology class. And in this class, they wanted to teach their students the social, ethical, and legal uses of technology. One of the main things that they focused on in this article is teaching ethics of technology in data processing. And one of the main issues that they focused on in the data processing class is the issue of intellectual copyright. Intellectual copyright is defined as giving or copying someone else's work or idea or phrase without giving them credit. Another thing that they use to teach students about the ethical world and technology is they wanted to teach them how to become more responsible citizens. They wanted them to become more, much better digital citizens. And the last issue that they covered was the accreditation of the instructors and the social responsibility of the students. And in this case, social responsibility is a major part of teaching students about the digital world, because it teaches students how to approach information, how to interpret information, and how to share information in a respectful and safe way. The next article that we will be discussing is the ethics of instructional technology, coping strategies experienced by professional technologies. And this article was written by Hong Lin. And in this article, they discuss the ethics of instructional technology, how to handle ethical issues such as online courses, web-based training, and intellectual copyright. He writes this article from the codes and standards found at the Association for Educational Communication Code for Professional Ethics. And three of the main things that they focus on in this article is intellectual technique, practical application of techniques, and how long do students and teachers use to learn and train on instructional technology. Again, the intellectual copyright or the issue of intellectual copyright is extremely important because of the fact that you have to teach your students how and when to collect information from the internet, where is it safe to go, and how to use that information in their reports. Some practical applications or techniques could just be as simple as teaching a person how to use web-based training, or how to use an online environment such as Vista or Blackboard Collaborate, which is basically a group chat room. The next article that I will be discussing is an article by Michael Miller, and the name of the article is called Information Communication Librarianship for the 21st Century. And in this article, he talks about how library information technologists are being trained on the way that instructional technology can be used to help students with research and in a blended-based learning environment. They're learning about academic technology in the use of education. These standards are reiterated in the new state of library professionals, and one of the main issues that they focus on in this professional organization is the knowledge and organization of how librarians organize and digitize this information on the internet and in their digital archives for the students to use. One of the questions that they ask in this article is, what is the impact of instructional technology on university and at graduate level? And they further discuss ways that they can help students become more socially responsible in terms of taking account, knowing how to teach students how to research these archives and document information. The next article that I will be discussing is by Stephanie Moore, and she is dealing with the social responsibility, an analysis of a faculty perception and social responsibility factors in